August, the 8th month of the year in the Gregorian calendar, and the full palette of nature is on glorious display. Our breadth of poets include Wordsworth, Swinburne, Hardy and Rosenberg, who with many others describe and reveal their thoughts on the month and notable dates within it. Among our readers are Richard Midgley and Gisela Rowe.
From Piccadilly in August, by John Freeman. Now the trees rest. The moon has taught them sleep. Like drowsy wings of bats are all their leaves clinging together. Girls at ease who fold fair hands upon white necks and through dusk fields walk all content. Of them the trees have taken their way of evening rest. The yellow moon with her pale gold has lit their dreams that lisp on the wind's murmuring lips. And lo, beyond burn those bright lamps, beneath the moon more bright, lamps that but flash and sparkle, and light not the inward eye and musing thought, nor reach where poplar-like that tall-built campanile lifts to the neighbouring moon her head, and feels the pale gold like an ocean laving her.
At Sundown by Daniel Sheehan. Beneath the waning of the summer's sun, into your olive arms I slip, and fold myself into your shape of supple softness gently scooped. I become on this curved side the skin that shields the world.
A Summer Evening Churchyard, Lechlade, Gloucestershire, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. The wind has swept from the wide atmosphere each vapour that obscured the sunset's ray, and pallid evening twines its beaming hair in duskier braids around the languid eyes of day. Silence and twilight, unbeloved of men, creep hand in hand from yon obscurest glen. They breathe their spells towards the departing day, encompassing the earth, air, stars and sea. Light, sound and motion own the potent sway, responding to the charm with its own mystery. The winds are still, or the dry church tower grass knows not their gentle motions as they pass. Thou too, aerial pile, whose pinnacles point from one shrine like pyramids of fire, abased in silence their sweet solemn spells, clothing in hues of heaven thy dim and distant spire, around whose lessening and invisible height gather among the stars the clouds of night. The dead are sleeping in their sepulchres, and mouldering as they sleep, a thrilling sound, half sense, half thought, among the darkness stirs, breathed from their wormy beds all living things around, and mingling with the still night and mute sky, its awful hush is felt inaudibly. Thus solemnized and softened, death is mild and terrorless as this serenest night. Here could I hope, like some inquiring child sporting on graves, that death did hide from human sight sweet secrets, or beside its breathless sleep that loveliest dreams perpetual watch did keep.
Moonlight, Summer Moonlight by Emily Jane Bronte. 'Tis moonlight, summer moonlight, all soft and still and fair. The solemn hour of midnight breathes sweet thoughts everywhere. But most where trees are sending their breezy boughs on high, or stooping lower lending a shelter from the sky. And there in those wild bowers a lovely form is laid, green grass and dew-steeped flowers wave gently round her head.
August by Algernon Charles Swinburne. There were 4 apples on the bough, half gold, half red, that one might know the blood was ripe inside the core. The colour of the leaves was more like stems of yellow corn that grow through all the gold June meadow's floor. The warm smell of the fruit was good to feed on, and the split green wood with all its bearded lips and stains of mosses in the cloven veins most pleasant if one lay or stood in sunshine or in happy rains. There were 4 apples on the tree, red stained through gold, that all might see the sun went warm from core to rind. The green leaves made the summer blind in that soft place they kept for me, with golden apples shut behind. The leaves caught gold across the sun, and where the bluest air begun, thirsted for song to help the heat, as I to feel my lady's feet draw close before the day were done. Both lips grew dry with dreams of it. In the mute August afternoon they trembled to some undertune of music in the silver air. Great pleasure was it to be there, till green turned duskier, and the moon coloured the corn sheaves like gold hair. That August time it was delight to watch the red moons wane to white, twixt grey-seamed stems of apple trees. A sense of heavy harmonies grew on the growth of patient night, more sweet than shapen music is. But some 3 hours before the moon, the air, still eager from the noon, flagged after heat, not wholly dead. Against the stem I leant my head. The colour soothed me like a tune, green leaves all round the gold and red. I lay there till the warm smell grew more sharp, when flecks of yellow dew between the round ripe leaves had blurred the rind with stain and wet. I heard a wind that blew and breathed and blew, too weak to alter its one word. The wet leaves next the gentle fruit felt smoother, and the brown tree root felt the mould warmer. I too felt, as water feels the slow gold melt right through it when the day burns mute, the peace of time wherein love dwelt. There were 4 apples on the tree, gold stained on red, that all might see the sweet blood fill them to the core. The colour of her hair is more like stems of fair faint gold that be mown from the harvest's middle floor. The Summer Rain by Henry David Thoreau. My books I'd fain cast off, I cannot read. Twixt every page my thoughts go stray at large down in the meadow where is richer feed, and will not mind to hit their proper targe. Plutarch was good, and so was Homer too. Our Shakespeare's life were rich to live again. What Plutarch read, that was not good nor true, nor Shakespeare's books, unless his books were men. Here while I lie beneath this walnut bough, what care I for the Greeks or for Troy town, if juster battles are enacted now between the ants upon this hummock's crown? Bid Homer wait till I the issue learn, if red or black the gods will favour most, or yonder Ajax will the phalanx turn, struggling to heave some rock against the host. Tell Shakespeare to attend some leisure hour, for now I've business with this drop of dew. And see you not, the clouds prepare a shower. I'll meet him shortly when the sky is blue. This bed of herd's grass and wild oats was spread last year with nicer skill than monarchs use. A clover tuft is pillow for my head, and violets quite overtop my shoes. And now the cordial clouds have shut all in, and gently swells the wind to say all's well. The scattered drops are falling fast and thin, some in the pool, some in the flower bell. I am well drenched upon my bed of oats, but see that globe come rolling down its stem, now like a lonely planet where it floats, and now it sinks into my garment's hem. Drip, drip the trees for all the country round, and richness rare distills from every bough. The wind alone it is makes every sound, shaking down crystals on the leaves below. For shame the sun will never show himself, who could not with his beams e'er melt me so. My dripping locks, they would become an elf, who in a beaded coat does gaily go.